Hi, I'm Michaela North. I am a mom of four. I'm a nutrition coach, a prior CrossFit athlete, and I also work for Brute Strength Training.
Prior CrossFit athlete. I mean, come on, you're still. No. Okay. Um, all right, Michaela. So, mom guilt. We all get it.
Oh,
And I, I really feel like dads don't get it as much as we do. Is it,
no.
do you think
Oh,
it's,
no. I mean, it's not Craig or any dads that I really know.
no dads that I know. Like I know, like Pat, if he goes away out of town or whatever, I think he feels sad and he misses us and stuff like that. But on a daily basis, I think it's definitely like a real thing that moms get. And what would you say like the top two things are that give you the biggest mom guilt?
Well, so that's a good question. I would say the number one, like overarching thing for me, and it kind of feeds into number two, is just being present. Like I have such a hard time just shutting off all the other things in my brain and just being in the moment with my children. And it's something I really am working on because I've been really, I don't know what the right word is, but I have been able, I think I've been really lucky to be able to have a work schedule that I can, work around when they're sleeping or they're in school or whatever. So I'm physically really present in their lives. And I love that. But I think sometimes I will just think that that's like, I don't know, at the end of the
You're
day, sometimes I think
you're
I
thinking about
stress out about
dinner
the
when
fact,
you're like
yeah,
having
there's
lunch.
questions and I might, yes, because my kids are at the age where they're like constantly just talking and asking questions and they're so full of
Yeah,
so much energy and it's
yeah,
so cute, but it's easier for me to feel just like exhausted with their questions and kind of just like give them half answers sometimes. And so I think that's probably the biggest thing is just being in the present moment with them and like being willing to just do and have fun and just play. It's hard
hmm
to play as a mom sometimes.
Oh yeah,
I'm just so focused on all need to be done.
yeah.
So yeah, I would say that's my biggest thing. It used to be maybe like training time or work time or those types of things, but right now in this like very moment, I'm in a position where those things aren't really an issue right now. But I would say it's just yeah, that just being present and like feeling like I'm really fulfilling their needs. And I have four kids, so just feels like a lot of needs sometimes.
That is a lot of needs. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that the thing with mom guilt is that it's definitely something that we feel way more than the kids are feeling, right? Because
Yeah.
if you think about a lot of parents and moms and who are in very different situations to us, they don't have that luxury of A, being present, like physically present with their kids, and B, sometimes um,
Yes.
like just are completely exhausted or like have to actually be doing the next thing before they're finishing one task because they don't have, again, that luxury of like being with the kids and having like financial stability or just like emotional stability or whatever
Yes.
stability it is. So I think like we get this mom guilt, but in all reality, like I think we're doing okay.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because I have the
I
same
think
thing as you. I feel the same way. I'm with my kids all the time, and then sometimes I don't think I'm like it's ridiculous to have this thought, but I'm with them so much, and then sometimes I don't think I'm spending enough time with them, which doesn't make any
I
sense.
know. I know. It's
And
so I know.
and then I think
That's
it's what you're
exactly
saying
yeah.
though. It's like not maximizing the time that you have with them. And then we were having this conversation just off camera before about how when they're at different ages, it can be hard to try and make everybody happy too in that present moment because you want to play with the 7-year-old and you want to read a book with him or you want
Yes.
to, do a puzzle, whatever. And the 10-month-old is just diving in and ripping everything apart.
Yeah, and I feel that way too. Like sometimes I think, oh man, so Scotty, she's 17 months, and I think about how I'm not really like on the floor playing with her as much as I was with the twins. Like that's all we did. Like I was so interactive with them and playing with them, and but then I have to tell myself like, well, that was all I had to do. I didn't have older kids when I had the twins when they were babies, and so I kind of think I will say, with each kid you get more and more like overwhelmed. There's more needs, more everything. But I think, and this is with body image, this is with mom guilt, for me at least. With each kid, I've gotten a lot more just relaxed about everything.
Totally.
Like, I think I experienced way less mom guilt with 4 kids than I probably did with my first 2, because I've realized that my idea of what it's supposed to look like is garbage. First of all, like what is that? It's just like, maybe I don't know how my mom did it, or how my mother-in-law did it, or how other moms I've seen have done it. That's like this standard, and it's like, no, wait a minute. I'm my children's mom, and I'm the best mom for them, and I can do it my way, and they are gonna love me, and that's okay. As long as I love them and I'm just doing my best, then yeah, mom guilt can just leave. And I think dads are so good at that.
Yes, they are. They're very good at that.
They're not comparing
No,
to anyone.
They have an overinflated sense of confidence when it comes to being dads.
Yes.
And it's great. Like I look at Pat.
Crushing it.
Yeah, I look at him and I'm like, he's very present. He's in the moment when he's with them, and then and then he isn't feeling guilty when he's doing his own thing. Whereas I'm like, if I'm away from them for an hour, I'm like, oh, I hope everyone's doing okay. But I think you just, I think what you're saying about, like we're doing the best we can with what we have. And we don't have to look like what our parents look like or what our friends look like. We can create our own momhood.
Yeah. And I think too, like, I don't know, I think when I start to feel mom guilt is usually when I'm comparing myself to other women. But I think like being an amazing mom, whatever that means, is so different for everyone. Like someone else's version of being a great mom is like having a really tidy house and making all the meals organic, and another version of someone else's mom is like, okay, I'm not going to travel at all this month. I'm home. I'm only working 40 hours a week. Or, like everyone, it just looks so different. And I've seen kids thrive and have amazing relationships with their parents, whether they're full-time working, both parents working, or they're both parents stay at home, or, just every different kind of scenario. And I think the key is just parents that love their children and that are teaching their children, values and hard work and resilience and how to be kind, and just all those like important things, I think. And that can look so different, the way we teach, how we teach, and like also the amount of time we have with our kids. It all looks different, but it can still all be an amazing childhood. And and
Absolutely.
I don't know,
I think that's
just
that's
so much
and that's,
more than just like the amount of time we spend.
Totally. And I think that's great advice. Like I think you just, again, like I think you rounded it up really well there with like, as soon as we start comparing ourselves to other women is when like you start doubting yourself, the insecurities creep in, and like motherhood is different for everybody. It looks different and it feels different. Not everybody loves to be mothers, like they don't love to be around their kids all the time. They don't love to have to homeschool them, whatever. Like, to some people that's like a nightmare, and that's great.
Right.
Like that's why everyone's different. And I think that's just a really great point. And I think we need to all, as women and mothers, like take that on board a little bit.
Support
like
that.
Just do you, and support the other women in your lives that are doing them. Like, and don't, like if they are working or if they're not working, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think like one of my first realizations with that was when I like before I had kids, my mom told me that she breastfed for like 12 months. And um, in my head, I just kind of told myself, like, okay, when I have a baby, like, that's what I'm going to do. And even though she had 4 kids too, actually. So she breastfed the first 2 for 12 months. And then me and my sister, I think it was actually 6 months. But for some reason in my head, I just had that idea. And then I was, blessed with 2 babies at once. And I just was like, I'm so determined. I want to breastfeed them for 12 months. And I was just a wreck. Like, I was, in bed. Probably there was one day, like, I think it was like 4 p.m. and I hadn't left the bed. I was just like rotating babies on my boobs. And I was so tired. I hadn't like fed myself or got dressed or anything. And I remember going to the pediatrician, and she was like, I don't remember exactly what she said, but something along the lines of, like, this is great that you want to do this, but your like sanity and like your sleep and your life is also important. And and like it has to be for both of you. You can't just like give everything up for your kids. You both have to be thriving in order for this to work. And she's like, so, formula's great. Like, this is a great alternative or whatever. I don't remember the conversation exactly, but I remember leaving and I just felt like, oh, okay, there is an alternative. And once I got over like I said, like my idea of what this perfect motherhood was for me, once I got over that and realized, like, okay, I need to adapt and do things and take care of myself. And I started supplementing with formula, and then at 6 months, I completely stopped. I was just pumping. So I stopped pumping altogether and just went straight to formula. And I think once I got over, like, the mom guilt of whatever I had planned not happening, I felt so great. Like, Mason and Zoe were thriving. All of a sudden, I had 10 hours of a day that I wasn't pumping anymore, that I could like make myself a snack or take care of my needs. And we were doing so much better. And it was just like seeing that and realizing that my version of motherhood was looking differently than I thought it was, and how it actually turned out so great made me realize that that's the case with everything with motherhood. And I just wish I could tell more moms that, like, okay, if you have a colicky baby and and it's really hard, like, maybe you should change things up or whatever. My sister-in-law right now, I'm afraid her, she kind of has a colicky baby, so she was struggling with the same thing, like if she should breastfeed or not, or maybe she should switch to formula if it will help him. And I told her the same thing, like, I know you want to do this, but your mental health is really important. So you got to take care of yourself, before you can even take care of your kids, or you'll have nothing left to give.
Totally.
And I think that's important to remember with the mom guilt, that it's okay to take care of your needs.
Yeah, I think like just listening to you go through that, it sounds like it's something that we create. Like in
Oh
our
yeah,
in our
my
heads.
yeah,
It's
totally in my
ridiculous.
head. And I remember my pediatrician, like, the look on her face even was just like of empathy. Like, she just, she'd seen it probably 100 times. This poor
Totally.
mom is just
Yeah.
run ragged, and like, what for what?
Right.
Just because they want to like hold up to this idea in their head that they had thought that they were supposed to do.
Hmm.
And
And
just,
I
yeah,
think I think we
Mason and Zoe
forget.
are six.
Yeah, and they're
Oh, go
fine.
ahead.
Yeah. I think we forget like
They're doing
yeah. I think we forget again. It's the same, like along the same lines with like body image stuff. That the only person that it's really affecting is ourselves.
great.
No one
Mm-hmm.
else is sitting there thinking like, that Michaela, with those 4 kids, like she's a bad mom because she is like trying to get dinner ready while her kids are wanting to play with her. Like how dare she?
Uh,
Like when you put it like that, it sounds kind of ridiculous. But I think, and again, it just comes
yeah.
down to those insecurities and those things that we have ourselves. Different for everyone, but it's just something that we've created that we're having to battle our way through.
Yeah. And I think too, I don't know, I think women are getting better at embracing each other, like supporting each other. But I think that's a big piece of it is we have these ideas in our head of what motherhood is supposed to look like, whether that's from how we were raised or, you know, how our friends were raised or whatever. And somehow that kind of shapes how we think we're supposed to act as moms. And I think the more we can like release that and really tune into what we want motherhood to really look like for ourselves and like why are we doing it the way we're doing it, the better we'll feel about this crazy journey of being a mom.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably be able to be more present and more in the moment, and
Yeah.
because we're not like inside our heads 24/7.
Yeah. I think that's definitely true.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.